We can hear Maverick talking. If I wanted to, I could click right here to mute his microphone, and I can see that he is now muted. I need to get one of these for real life because that would be amazing. Dad jokes. What's up, folks? Today, I'm going to be checking out Remo. This is an online event tool that has the goal of making online events actually somewhat interesting. They say here on their website that every interaction feels real. So we'll find out if that's true. I'm going to go through the whole setup process here, show you exactly how it works. Let's discover Remo together. By the way, this is currently available on AppSumo, but only for a short amount of time. So definitely check the link in the description if you would like to check out this tool and get the best deal possible. My thanks to AppSumo for making this video possible. All right, let's get right into it. So here is Remo. I'm already logged into my brand new account here. And you can see that they've got a little setup guide here. So first you create your Remo account. That is done. Then we want to create our organization. Even though this is checked off, I've not really done a very good job of that. So let's go ahead and set up the organization. We'll want to do things like add our avatar here. So we have a photo, and then we can go into our organization settings to add things like our logo. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm going to click edit next to my name, upload my image here. All right, my profile is looking pretty good. I'm going to go ahead and save these changes. You can see I've got some links enabled. I did not turn on LinkedIn or this one right here, which is a Japanese business card tool. I've never heard of this before, but sounds interesting. Next, I'm going to set up my organization, and then we'll get right into the events. All right, so I updated our company profile here. I've added our company name, uploaded the logo, and I want to point out that this plan that I have from AppSumo allows for 7 total team members. I'll go into more details on the AppSumo plans a little bit later on in this video, but I thought it was worth pointing out that that is an option for you. Then we've got our general event settings, event registration settings, and a few other options here, such as checking for VPNs. Now, on the plan that I have, I can also white label Remo, which means that I can actually set this up on my own custom domain and then forward traffic to Remo. On this white label screen, there are a few options. First one here is for company badge. This is going to add a little badge right below my avatar on the Remo meetings. And you can see here that it's supposed to be 135 by 57 pixels. So basically I could have like my company name show up right below my actual image. I'm going to leave that off for right now, but that's an interesting option if it's something you want to do. You have to create a custom image because obviously this is not a typical, aspect ratio for something like, your avatar. You've already got that displayed. But for white labeling, those options are down here. We can upload a company logo as well as a favicon right here. So I'm uploading my logo right now. And it looks like for the favicon, they want to have 16 by 16, but it says max file size of 512 KB. So that means probably the same file that you uploaded is going to work just fine here. Now to turn this on, I can check this box, which became enabled after I uploaded the logos. I did go ahead and just set up a company badge here just to see what it would look like. You can see the little preview over here. And the last thing to do would be to request a custom domain. Unfortunately, this isn't an automatic process. So what you do is you click right here and that pops open an email that is already pre-written for you to send to Remo support to go ahead and generate the custom domain. So if you want to get that set up, just follow along with this, and then they're going to send you some directions so you can update your domain name servers, your DNS settings, probably on something like GoDaddy, Cloudflare, Namecheap, of the like. We've gone through CNAME redirects a lot of times on these videos, so if you have any trouble with that, definitely reach out to the Remo support or just leave me a comment down below, and I'll try to guide you through that. But there is an option here for some help to set up the custom domain, which is just going to kind of walk you through what their CNAME records would be. Do know that it takes up to 7 days to get that custom domain set up, so don't wait right before your event to get everything going. So I've just saved my progress here and reloaded, and it looks like they apply this badge to even the company logo. So I'm not sure I'm going to like how this looks in action. I'll leave it on right now just so we can actually see it inside of a live event. For now, let's head back to our getting started guide. And it looks like we're on step 3 here, create your first event. So I'm going to go ahead and proceed with this. It's going to take me back to the home screen here, and I can go ahead and close out their little tooltip, and we'll click on create my first event. Now there's some settings here. We can choose between a public event and a private event. I'm going to do this private for now. And it's warning me that I need to make sure I share this invite with people in the event registration section. And if I've shared this link already, I may prevent people from accessing the event. All right, so I'm going to say yes, make private. And then I can choose my start time. So by default, it's just going to choose right now. I'm going to go ahead and set this up for, how about 5 minutes from right now? So I'll change the time to be 7:18. All right, I'll hit OK. And then the end time is going to default to, it looks like about 4, maybe 3.5 hours into the future. That's a long time. We'll dial it back. All right, we're ending at 8:23. Next, I can choose my event image here. I can't think of a faster way to create an image for the event than just ask ChatGPT to do it for me. So here we go, Dave's test event. Thank you, ChatGPT. Let's download this. I'll change the image. And next we're getting to the parts that make Remo really unique for live events. Here I get to choose the look of my floor plan. That's because every event in Remo is trying to recreate the feel of an in-person event. So they've got all of these floor plans available for me to choose from. If I'm doing a sky bar or a job fair or a patio look, you can really choose anything you want. A bar lounge, a regular lounge. There's a Christmas themed event. We got a plain meeting room, a mall office, a cigar lounge. It goes on and on. I think I'm just going to choose, how about this small conference for right now? And notice down below that we can choose the expected attendance. And as I change the attendance level, the number of floors that are available for attendees to walk through and kind of create little breakout rooms, that will automatically increase. So it looks like if I go from 39 up to 40, that adds an additional floor. And if I go from 78 attendees up to 79, that changes it to 3 floors. Now, notice I have a maximum number of 300 attendees. Once again, that is tied to my AppSumo plan. We'll get into all of that later on. Just know that 300 is the maximum that you can have. So if you need more than that, you'll probably need to get a custom plan directly from Remo. Before we move on, I should point out there's a lot of filtering and stuff you could do for the floor plans. So they've got these realistic ones. There's isometric, modern, and classic. And then you can also filter them based on tags. So if you know, okay, I'm doing a speed networking event, you can sort between just all of those particular floor plans. All right, I'm gonna hit save and publish this event. Now we're gonna set a goal for the event. So I'm just gonna choose other here, but some of the options are for attendees to make new connections, celebrate company success, generate more leads, raise money, so on and so forth. And then we can choose the type of event that we're having. So if we're doing a fundraiser, having a happy hour, that's probably what I'll choose for this particular event tonight. And I'm gonna hit save and publish event. It says, congratulations, your event has now been created. Take a few minutes to explore your event space and see what's possible in Remo. And then it's got a link right here that I can use to share with people so they can join the event. All right, let's go ahead and jump into the event first, and then I'll try to get some humans on here so we can actually see how good it is. All right, so now I need to do the typical grant access to my microphone and camera spiel. So allow access. All right, so it's actually grabbing the camera that looks like it's attached to my monitor. So you're getting a little different view here. I'm gonna see if I can change that camera. All right, I'm just gonna switch over to my iPhone camera here. So I'm basically broadcasting wirelessly. There we go, that's the iPhone camera. I've also turned off the light behind me so we can see how that looks. Of course, I could also use my nice camera here. I just don't have it connected to my computer right at the moment. I'm just recording to a memory card. Let's go ahead and just try this out in order to, test out continuity camera. And then I've got my microphone selected. That is this one right here. So it might actually make everything go out of sync a little bit, but we'll see how that goes. You can see that it's pulling in all of the other inputs that I have connected to my computer. So everything is pretty, fully fleshed out here. We can also test out our audio if we like.
Can you hear me? If yes, your speaker is well connected.
One thing I noticed is there's no dedicated output for a speaker. That would be the last little setting I'd hope to see here. So maybe I have my computer audio coming out of like my built-in computer speakers or, any dedicated speakers I have, but I might want to have a different output for my headphones. That's something a lot of other platforms have. So hopefully that's something they could add in the future. There's a little built-in green screen thing here, and it's not incredible. You can see the outline around me, but if you don't want to show your background, this is definitely a decent option. I think that one actually keys out probably the best out of everything we've seen so far. Move around here a little bit. It's keeping my microphone in the shot as long as I am attached to it, essentially, which is interesting. I'm raising my hand now. Okay. I'm wearing a hat, and that seems to be giving the green screen a little bit of trouble, but hey, that's a cool feature that's built in. You can upload your own image here if you'd like. There's a load more button, and I did click that, but nothing happened. We can also just blur our existing background. So here it is blurred, and here it is sharp. All right, I'm gonna go with this kind of library look. I think that's pretty fun. And let's go ahead and close this out. It looks like my system has passed their checks, and I get the little preview window here. I'm ready to go. I'm gonna join the event. All right, here we are. I am inside the event. You can see my little video up here. I can click into it to go into full screen mode here. I've got quite a few settings. I can do a chat mode here. This pops up in chat on the right-hand sidebar. I can do a poll if I want to create a poll. Let's try that out. All right, so here's my poll. I just added a poll question, and then some options. So if I were having a larger event, I'd be able to ask my attendees which they thought was the best option in this case. So I could start this poll right here. And now that it's currently running, I can add a second one if I like as well. Notice there's a secondary option here. This one is for quizzes. So instead of having a poll and just letting people choose which one is the best one, you could have a quiz and set a right and wrong answer. Now, what I want to do over here is actually check the right answer, and I can set a time limit. Let's say I want to give people 60 seconds to answer, and then I can go ahead and start this. It says start poll, but this is definitely a quiz. So notice here that this is currently running. So it's only going to run for the next 60 seconds. I'd have to have an event ongoing to actually get those answers piped in. But then I could maybe, have like a little quiz, and whoever gets the answer right might win a prize or something like that. All right, so let's just go through everything that's in the chat. We saw the poll and we saw the quiz. There's also just the plain old chat here where we can have different tables. So I can enter this table and then talk with the participants here. And here is a table 1 chat, so on and so forth. Then we've also got a list of the participants. So I can maybe direct message someone that shows up right over here, and then it would be listed in my private chats. Then we've got the Q&A section where I could actually ask a question to who's ever speaking. It's going to ask me if I want to ask the question anonymously. So I can do that. Then the questions all show up here, and the other attendees can actually upvote that specific question so that we can find the best questions and get them answered live on the feed. All right, so that is the chat function. Now notice back over here, we've still got our camera control. So if I wanted to mute myself temporarily, I could easily do that, toggle it on and off. I could turn my camera off. It goes to my profile picture here. We can toggle between chat and polls here. Those are the same links we saw before. We've got reactions. So if a presenter is doing something that you like, you can add some hearts, laugh at their joke, or give them the sus look. I've been on a lot of webinars where that would have been handy. We can share our screen right here. It's going to ask me to share my screen. I'm not going to do that right now, but that's definitely possible with a simple click right there. We can view all of our participants. That's just popping open our chat bubble here again, going to that participant screen. And then there's a button down here to go back to the lobby. Now, I'm not going to click that because I want to point out one button that I skipped over here, which is to go into presenting mode. If I click this, I'm going to start presenting with my mic and cam turned on. I can also record this if I'd like. So if you're giving a important talk and you want to make sure you record it so that you can post it later on other channels like Facebook or YouTube, you definitely would want to turn on recording. Notice that there is a little view selector here. So we can have the speaker as the focus. We can see a gallery view, which is basically going to be equally sized tiles, kind of like a Zoom call on multiplayer. And then we've got a floor view where we can actually see everyone that's currently in the room. But wait, there is more. So we can do announcements. I could send out an announcement to everyone like, I'm going to start my talk in 30 seconds. And if I announce that to everyone, now everyone in the event is going to get this little announcement. I'm going to start my talk in the next 30 seconds. There's also a whiteboard option. So here is the whiteboard. It's going to pop right open. It looks a lot like other whiteboards that you may have seen in the past. We've got a nice set of tools here. It's actually Miro, right? So this is a pretty big tool, like everybody uses Miro. I can draw my shapes. I can draw my arrows. I can use a pen. I can erase my mistakes. There's color selectors. We can leave comments. You can type text. Yeah, basically a great whiteboard. Super handy if you're doing live brainstorming sessions with your old team or clients and you want to get stuff down on paper. This is a great way to do it. Now, notice you do need to have a Miro account in order to save this stuff, but if you have one, you're good to go. And if you don't, you get free use of it during the event, and then you can take screenshots and you're still pretty good shape. By the way, Miro does have some pretty decent pricing. They've got a free plan that gives you 3 editable boards. And if you want to move up to their $8 starter account, you're going to get unlimited boards. So I think for most people, just going with the free plan and occasional events, you're going to be good to go. However, if you're doing this regularly, it's not that big of an investment to get a bigger sized Miro plan. I actually think it's great that they decided to go with a market leader in this type of tool rather than trying to roll their own and kind of doing a half-baked version of whiteboarding. All right, so that was whiteboards. Next, we have timers. So here is what the timer section looks like. We can set up a number of sessions, the duration of each timer, and then the breaks between each timer. So this is great for doing kind of those speed rounds where you want to maybe have different groups intermingle. Say, all right, we're going to do 6 rounds of 10 minutes each. Everybody, pair up with different people every 10 minutes. You'll have 1 minute to find a new partner in between. So very, very cool. We can also easily shuffle our guests for those timers. So I just go right here, choose how many people I want to be at a table, and then go ahead and start shuffling them, and those breakout rooms will kind of form themselves. We can also unassign all seats, kicking everybody out of their seat. Then we can unlock all tables. So if people were locked into their current spots, you can allow them to move around. And then finally, we have a content pop-up. So to create one of these content pop-ups, what we want to do is choose the content type, whether it's feedback, entertainment, event information, sponsorship content, or other. And then we just simply enter in a URL. It will generate a preview and we click launch. It shows up over here in the left-hand corner for everyone who's attending, and they can go ahead and check this out. And if they want to open up the website, click that button and there you go. All right, I'm starting to be a believer. This is actually much better than Zoom. All right, so if I did have a multi-person event, I could change the floors right up here. So currently it looks like I have a 3-floor event. I must have left it on like 70 attendees. I don't remember doing that, but I could jump up to another floor if I'd like. It's gonna warn me. Let's go ahead and jump up to the other floor. There we go, it looks identical. I'm just now on floor 3. And here's floor 2. Again, the same thing, just gonna allow you to disperse people to make it a little easier to converse or have different speakers going on at the same time. If I wanted to join a specific table, I could go ahead and choose the table that I want, and then it's gonna give me the options down here to join, cancel, or copy the table link. If I copy the table link, I can then share that link to invite people specifically to chat with me. So you can notice one thing about my avatar here. We can actually zoom in. Let's do that. These are a little zoom in, zoom out options. So if I wanted to zoom in just to my table, I could do that. And then here is my avatar. And then this is that company badge that I uploaded at the beginning of this video. I can also click on myself, and I could do this for anybody in attendance. And I would be able to see their name, their title, the company they work at, and then also get their social links. So I could book with them if I wanted. I could visit their social media, add them on LinkedIn, so on and so forth. So really nice. You get your little virtual business card here. It's nothing. I saw a comment on AppSumo about, could you hide the virtual business card? It's not really a feature you'd want to turn off, because it's not like anything that needs, it's your profile essentially. It's what people share when they sign up or when they enter into the event. All right, so getting back to my getting started guide here, looks like I've done just about everything. I've entered my event. It's not been checked off yet, but I've definitely done that. Filled out my profile. The last thing to do is to get to know support channels. So there's a support option right up here. If I click on that, it's going to pop open this little window where I can ask them questions. It'll search their knowledge base. And if I need more help, I can get it that way. So they have live chat, a help center, a resource center, and then you can, of course, just email them. They've got their support email listed here, which is always a nice sign because not everybody is forthright with email. And I appreciate it when they are, because that's just the way communication should be done on the internet. At least be an option. Don't make me join like a Slack channel or something. Just like email works. All right, so let's go through the process of actually adding people into our event. What we need to do is go ahead and enter our event settings, which we can access at any point from the little pencil icon up here. It's going to kick us back to that screen we saw earlier on when we were creating the event. So if you wanted to make this public after you set it to be private, you could edit that. But what I want to do right now is set up my invitations. So under invitations here, I'm going to go ahead and add in some email addresses of people I want to add. Now, there is the ability to sell tickets directly from Remo. So if you're selling a paid event, you can definitely do that. You can do get ticketing access right here, and you'll be able to set that up so that you can sell tickets. Remo does take a cut of the sale plus a per ticket fee, but that's a nice option to have available if you want a no hassle way to get going. However, if you have another way to sell tickets or you just want to add people for free, you can simply invite your guests. So there's two options here. I can invite my event speakers or I can invite my guests. So maybe you send out your invitations for speakers here, and then for guests, you can actually import them via CSV. So if you're selling tickets through an e-commerce platform, you could export all of those purchasers and then just upload the CSV to get them access. It'll send out an email invitation. All right, so now I've invited my guests. I'm just going to wait for them to arrive, maybe get things all situated at my table, and we will find out how good the video quality is with my guests attending. All right, here we are. My very special VIP guest has joined us. This is my son, Maverick. Maverick, how are you doing?
Good.
Good. This is your first time on YouTube. How does it feel?
Good.
Good. I'm going to make you in a little bit bigger view here so I can switch the view. Let's do the gallery view. Now I have a side-by-side shot. If I wanted to, I could switch over to speaker view where it's more like me presenting and Maverick listening. Of course, that is not presentation mode. There's some differences and we'll get to that in a moment. So Maverick, what do you think of this whole online event thing? Is it pretty fun?
Yeah.
Do you think the video quality is pretty good? Is this as good as like using FaceTime to contact grandma?
Yeah.
Yeah, you look great. You sound really good. What device are you on right now?
My mom's phone.
Excellent. And you're just using Wi-Fi. Sounds really good. Looks really good. So that's nice to see in terms of quality. All right, I'm going to do a couple more things. So I'm going to get out of this view and we'll just go to the overall floor view. So you can see that Maverick and I are both seated at the same table. That's why I can hear Maverick when we're just chatting. It's kind of like a breakout room. Now, if I were to go to a different floor, I'm on floor 1 right now. I go to floor 2. It's going to give me the little warning. Now Maverick's gone. I don't see him anymore. He's still, of course, on the event, but I don't hear or see him at all. Let's go back to floor 1. And now I'm going to join another table. I join another table. Maverick is also gone. Of course, I can see that he's at the event, but I can't see or hear him. All right, here I am. I'm back. Did you miss me while I was gone, Maverick?
Yeah, I did.
Good answer. All right, awesome. So overall, very, very easy to zoom around to different parts of the event, interact with different groups. Very impressive, snappy response. I like this quite a bit. Was it easy to get logged on, Maverick?
Yep.
Yep, just sent you an email, able to click it and get right in, right?
Mm-hmm.
Great. We can hear Maverick talking. If I wanted to, I could click right here to mute his microphone, and I can see that he is now muted. If he talks right now, we're not going to hear him at all. I need to get one of these for real life because that would be amazing. Dad jokes. So now if I'm talking to a group of people and I wanted to go ahead and present, of course, I could enter presentation mode right down here, click present. It's going to turn me into the presenter. And now, even if other people at my table are talking, I will not hear them. I am the presenter as soon as I go into presentation mode with this on. Of course, I could start the recording right over here. We saw those features earlier on in the video. All right, I'm going to go back out to the floor. So I'll go yes, back to floor. And then I can hear Maverick right away again. Isn't that right, Matt?
Hi.
Yep.
Yep.
All right. Very cool. So Maverick, from your end, when I go into presentation mode, can you still see me?
Yeah.
Cool. All right, I'm going to send you a little notice here and you tell me if you see this. All right, I just sent it. Do you see anything?
Yep. You said, hey, Maverick.
Excellent. All right, Mav, I think that's going to do it for our demonstration. Thank you so much for joining us and being on YouTube with me. It's been a lot of fun.
Yep, it was.
All right, great. We'll see you the next time.
Bye.
Bye. All right, that was a lot of fun having Maverick on board. Let's go ahead and take a look at a few more settings, and then we're going to jump over to the AppSumo deal page and see what is available in this offer. All right, a few more kind of advanced features I wanted to take a look at when you're starting your event. If you go to advanced right here, literally advanced features, we can go through and we can set up these event details like we did when we actually created the event, but there's also the option to create a registration page. So we can start to add questions here if we want to ask questions of people who are going to be attending our event. Next, we can set up a lobby and welcome screen. So when people arrive, they kind of know what to expect. We can show a welcome message, go ahead and enter it in here, even add an image or a video if you want people to watch a video right when they arrive at the event. Really nice feature. Next up, we have our floor content. We can actually add in different pieces of content like banners from sponsors throughout the floor plan. So we just add a piece of content here, choose where we want it to go, and then boom, we can have sponsors at our virtual event. Very, very nice. If some of the features you saw in the video you don't see yourself ever using, you can certainly turn them off here. Like you don't want to use whiteboard, you don't want to have chat. You can turn those off right here at the event level. They'll just be disabled for that particular event. If you want to set up a clear agenda, like when speakers are going to be speaking, you can do that right here. We can have an assigned seating floor plan. If you want to go ahead and specify which guests are at what floor plan, you can easily do that. You just simply drag one of the email addresses and put them at the table, and then that person will be assigned to that part of the floor plan. And finally, if you want your event to be streamed to other destinations like Vimeo, YouTube, or LinkedIn, you can do that right here with an RTMP destination. I'm not going to go through the guide on how to do this, but they have one available to you. So you can go ahead and set this up to get your event in front of as many people as you'd like. After the event, you want to gather up all of that data, head over to the post-event section here, where you can see some analytics, get all of your guest lists and poll results and your questions that were submitted, and even your presentation recordings will be available right here. All right, so that's it for the demo and features of Remo. Let's check out the AppSumo plans and pricing. So I want to point out that this deal is only available for like a few more days. So definitely don't sleep on this one if what you've seen is interesting to you. So in order to check this out, we're going to zoom all the way down to the plan details here. Notice we are going to be mapped to what they call their starter plan. So any future updates to the starter plan will be given to AppSumo users. Now, this is a very, very expensive tool. So I'm not super surprised that you're mapped to one of their lower level plans. Don't think that that's a bad thing. We're getting a ton of access here for a very small amount of money comparatively. So going over to Remo's plans and pricing real quick, we can see that their starter plan is their most popular plan, and it's $380 per month. After that, you skip right up to enterprise level. If you just want to do a one-time event, that's still $900 for a single shot. So this is a great deal when you see what we get inside of the plans. So for tier 1, which is a $69 one-time purchase, you're going to get 15 attendees per event, 90 minutes of event duration, 8 attendees per table, and up to 20 speakers on stage. Move up to tier 2, things get a little bit more interesting. Now we can have 75 attendees, 4-hour events, 20 speakers on stage, and 2 event assistants, so people to help you to run the events. We can also upload our own custom floor plans. Now, these are not just images, they're actually 3D mockups that need to be created in something like SketchUp or some kind of 3D tool. So I'm not an expert on doing that, but definitely dig more into those features if you are interested in creating your own custom floor plan. And we also get the Zapier integration at tier 2. If you move up to tier 3, which is quite expensive, I will admit, $729, this is the tier that you've seen demonstrated throughout this video. You get 300 attendees, 6-hour event durations, 24 attendees per table, 50 speakers on stage, 6 event assistants, custom floor plans, Zapier, that custom branding, and single sign-on if you need it. All right, so that is Remo. Closing thoughts, I'm going to rate this one at an 8.2. I'm not quite sure why it's on AppSumo, but I'm really glad that it is. If you do anything in the online event space, definitely don't sleep on this one. You will be regretting it. It's so much better than doing something like another boring Zoom. My only one feature request is maybe something like a coffee shop floor plan where you could sit across from someone and have a one-on-one or one-on-two meeting with, say, a potential client or an existing client in a more intimate setting. I think that'd be really nice, and it would allow me to get rid of something like Zoom or Google Meet, which just kind of has overtones of boringness driven right through them. I think we're all sick of being on Zoom. So it'd be really cool to mix things up a little bit and make Remo kind of the default for big and small online gatherings. If you like this video, make sure you click the like button and don't forget to get subscribed to this channel if you're new around here. My name is Dave Swift. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.